Hello YouTube! So, here's a question. Can an old guy learn new tricks? Well, if you had a look at my Instagram lately, you probably know the answer is yes. And if you haven't, well, stick around and hit that subscribe button down there. It's gonna be a blast. With that said, roll intro. Just a quick disclaimer, this isn't really a how-to video in the purest sense of the word. There are plenty more dudes out there who really know how to ride bikes and can do amazing tricks that I can basically just dream of. This is more of a, what went through my head when I was trying to figure out these tricks and how I learned them. And basically, if I can get somebody stoked on trying new stuff and, progressing their riding, then that's a win for me. So this is maybe a year and a half's worth of jumping progression. Like I said, about a year and a half ago, I decided to try and work in some stees into my riding, just learn a few basic mountain bike tricks. Mostly to just become a better bike handler, just feel more at home on a bike. So I started out small. I started by watching YouTube videos and watching people do tricks. And tricks are just a well-executed series of orchestrated movements that just kind of stick in your mind, and once you break through that mental block, smooth sailing from there. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, one-handers. This is the first trick I started with. So get comfortable in a jump. You gotta have a couple of seconds at least of airtime. So something that's not too small but not too big. The way I figured it out is you need time in the air to stabilize the bike, and then you can do the trick. Pick a hand, any hand, left or right. I'm right-handed. It's easier for me to remove the right hand. So once you're in the air and you're leveling off the bike, just start to release your hands a little bit. I mean, just let go of the bar, just a tiny little bit. Doesn't need to be all the way extended, just got to be that. And get used to that. Do that a few times. Do it on the right side, do it on the left side. Just get used to it. The way I learned these is the wrong way, basically. So lifting your hand up. The problem with this is that if you panic and your hand comes down, you're gonna grab a fistful of brake. And if you run your brakes the way UK riders do, that's a fistful of front brake and you're flying right over the bars. So, better way to do it, try and extend your hand outwards. Start small, just go that, then bigger, and bigger. You don't really need to pinch a seat for this either with your knees. So you're pretty stable since you've got 3 contact points, your feet and your other hand. Once you're coming in for the landing, try and spot the landing and not the bar. You kind of know where the bar is, so you will bring your hand back. At least that's how I figured it out. But if you're looking at a landing, your bike and your body will follow where your eyes look at. So give that a shot. All right, let's go try it out. Next up, no-handers and suicide no-handers. Now these are a lot trickier and there's so much more that can go wrong, so listen up. If it's windy, just give up. Live to ride another day. I mean, it's not worth it. Front wheel's gonna be completely free. You're not gonna be holding your bars. A gust of wind can just blow it to the side or tilt you in the air, and it's gonna hurt. This is a high consequence trick, basically. It's simple, but it's a high consequence trick. Kind of the same thing applies as for one-handers, except you got to add another little point there in the middle. You got to pinch your seat. So as you're popping off the jump, right after you pop, you pinch the seat with your knees. You got to make sure the seat's at the right height so you can actually pinch it. And as you're starting to level off, you can start just releasing your fingers a little bit. It does not need to be massive extension, just a tiny little release. Get used to that. And after you've done that, kind of the same motion as for one-handers. You let go a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. Okay, so suicide no-handers, that's just extra style points. So there you kind of have to roll your shoulders forward while trying to keep your back straight to be able to extend your arms all the way back. As you're leveling out, and your hands are obviously not on the bars, again, the same thing applies. You want to be spotting your landing and not the bars. Just keep on looking right at the landing, because where your eyes look, that's where your body and bike will follow. You're naturally going to go back here and hopefully roll away without a problem. So one thing that can help out with getting the muscle memory spot on is just going through the motions of the trick. So get on your bike and roll around in a parking lot. Just go through the motions of what you're going to do in the air. So you're going to pop, you're going to pinch, then you're going to release. So pop, pinch, release. Do that as you roll about in a parking lot, and after a couple of times it's going to be ingrained in your memory. You're never going to forget it. All right, let's go give that a shot. Onto one-footers. Now these look great, especially if you throw in a bit of a table or turn bar, but they're one of these really easy tricks to learn. So the way I learned these is that you always release your forward foot. In my case, that's my left foot. As you're in midair and you're starting to level off, hopefully your pedals are going to be parallel to the ground, right? Now if you throw your forward foot, that forward pedal is only going to rotate about a quarter turn back. So it's always going to be in that 12 o'clock position, and it's just going to be predictable to catch it again. So as with any other trick, just start small. I mean, release your foot a little bit just so that you kind of feel it float off the pedal. And then when you're ready, push it out a bit. And then if you can stomp that, push it out a bit more, as far as your hips will allow. Now, it's hard to mess this up. So as long as you pop kind of straight up and you're central over the bike, you can land one-footed no problem. So that's it. Once you're midair and you're leveling off, just stare at the landing like with pretty much every other jump. Where your eyes look, your body and your bike will follow. And you're gonna stomp this. You're gonna roll away with one more trick in your bag. So there you have it. Hopefully you've learned a couple of more tricks, and most importantly, you did not die. Now that is an accomplishment in itself, so go pat yourself on the back, tell yourself you've done an awesome job, and crack open a cold one. See, this sport isn't only for the young guns. Us almost middle-aged men can do this shit too. Now if you like this kind of content, hit the like button, share, subscribe, you know what to do, and I'll catch you in the next one. Keep your rubber side down and go shred.